Now, for beachgoers in particular, paying attention to advisories from the Barbados Meteorological Service over the weekend could be a matter of life and death. According to the Met Office, that's because there could be an increased risk of drowning owing to potentially dangerous sea conditions. Joining us now to explain why is Senior Meteorologist Semelka Jackman. Ms. Jackman, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us. Now, tell us what's happening there to cause these dangerous conditions.
Right, so we are expecting some northerly swells coming into the island, and those normally affect the west coast. So we can have increased choppy conditions across the west of the island, and that generally can cause hazardous conditions for swimmers and even possibly for boats in the area. So we are really asking persons be cautious. These are expected from Sunday and can last up to Thursday morning.
From this Sunday until next Thursday coming. And what kinds of other cautions can you give to sea users at the moment? You said beachgoers, for bathers and other sea users. Who are those people who need to be particularly cautious?
Fishermen, of course, and any small craft operators, especially on the west coast of the island. We'll continue to update as we monitor the change in flow direction and the sea flow heights as happen across the island into next week. But it's really to pay attention and listen to the NCC lifeguards for any advisories that they might have out at the
You did speak to the west coast. No particular advisories for north or south coasts?
Northerly swell, so to the north somewhat, but the south would be a little more sheltered. But it's always very important just to always pay attention to what's happening and especially go to beaches with lifeguards because they would be monitoring the current conditions at the time.
How unusual is this to have occurred at this time?
It is not quite unusual. Normally we get northerly swells when there is a cyclone in the mid-latitudes, a mid-latitude cyclone, which normally occurs during the northern hemisphere's winter season. So we're that season, so we would get these outbreaks from time to time over the next few months.
So the caution is to sea users. Now I want to shift our attention to this dust haze that's been causing sneezing all over the place. Tell us, how long can we expect this to prevail?
Well, actually today we see change. Today, if you looked, you could have seen it very clear. Today was one of those picture perfect days. So yes, they have that significant dust haze event from the Sahara this week, which ended last night. More significant impacts would have been around Christmas and the day before our return, but that has subsided for Barbados now.
Can we expect to see it again anytime soon?
Well, as we move into next year, you can expect to probably see dust hazes again as we move into the dry season. That's when it normally so that is possible again, but it's not something that happens every month. So the last significant outbreak that we had here would have been early this year, February. So maybe next couple months, it is possible that you can have another outbreak for Sahara next.
Semelka Jackman, Senior Meteorologist with the Barbados Met Services, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
You're welcome.